Welcome to another episode of Everyday Mechanic. Today we're going to diagnose this electric window not working. So I'm going to talk you through the electrical side of it first, then we're going to strip the door card down and get more intense inside what's going on with it. I'm going to do it the best and easiest way I can explain it to you guys, and hopefully we'll all get something from it. So now we're going to diagnose the switch itself, make sure to see if the switch is sending a signal, if it's working. And how we're going to do that is using a test light. So let me talk you through this. What we're going to do, we're going to access the switch pack. We're going to leave it plugged in. We want the back of the switches. This is a different system to my last video. This doesn't run off a CAN bus, this is high powered side. So we're going to do a different style of testing on this one. And what we're going to do, we're going to put this crocodile clip part of the test light to a chassis ground. So any part that's like bare metal. So if you come round there and see we're on this little screw here. That's a nice contact for a negative. We're going to put the ignition to that on position. And what we're going to do, we're going to find out which switch does which. So this is the driver's side, and as you can see, nothing's working window wise. So we're going to get the test light, we're going to touch one of the wires on the back, and we're just going to press the switch, and there we go. See, it's lighting up. So we know we've got a signal to take the window down, but the window's not moving. So the switch is definitely working to send the window down. So let's see if it'll send the window up. We put it into that one, and there we go. That's the signal to send the window up. So we know our switch works. So we can rule out this. We know that works, but the window still doesn't operate. And if you listen to it, you can hear more than one click. So I'm clicking the switch and I'm getting another click from inside the door panel. It's probably hard to hear on the actual video, but I'm getting feedback from inside the door. So that tells me the module inside the door to send the motor down is working. But we're going to access that module, do some more testing there, and if we can rule that out, we've got power to the motor, then we know we have a motor issue. I'm going to run you through that one next. Right then guys, to access the motor mechanism inside, we're going to take off the door panel. Every car is different. This is this car, so it's usually the same principle. You just follow what I'm doing, you should find them sooner or later. So on this car we've got TX25s, which are T-drives, T25s. That's the kind of screws we're dealing with. So usually where your door handle pull is, you'll have a little plastic cap. Behind there, you flick the cap off, take the screw out to release your mechanism. Then your switch pack. On this car you have a fascia plate here, you just pull that off, it just pulls off in your hand. Same with the switch pack, lift that up, pull it out. I've already been at this one just to save time for the video purposes. There's another one behind here. So if we take this little cap off, reflective lens, there's a screw there. There's another little hidden one here. Take that out, screw behind there. And on some cars, you have a row of screws underneath. This one doesn't, but some you do. There's about 2 or 3 down here. And also behind your switches, you've got a screw here and a screw there. So you take them two out. That releases a door card, and on this car you got to pull this cap off here, which just pulls off in your hand. Quite handy. And then all you got to do is grab the bottom of the door card and just pull it towards you, yanking upwards. It will click and crack and make some funny noises, and then it will come off. Behind your door card then, you're going to have your door handle release cable, so you need to undo that. It's a case of fiddling about with it, but you'll get it off. That's it. Seems simple as that. Then when you come back around the front, you have to take the wires off from your switch pack, post them through your door card, and then we have a door card on. Going to that inside, and now we have access to the inside of the door. I'm going to tell you how to do some more further testing. Right, and guys, now we're going to access the motor and do some tests at the motor itself. So there's a bit of sound deadening you have to get off. Stuck on with a bit of silicone. Try and get it off the best you can without destroying it. Don't usually happen. Okay, so my motor on this car is behind this panel. Now I'm not going to strip it all out just to get access to the motor itself and the wires. I'm just going to take the motor, the clip of the wiring harness off the motor itself. So if you ever feel around, feel the motor, have a look with a torch, mirror, unclip the wire off the back of the motor, bring it outside the car. So on this one I've already unclipped it, save time. I've got a 2-pin connector which goes to my motor. So this goes round there and clicks directly onto my motor. That motor brings the window down and sends the window up, depending on what polarity gets changed around here. So to rule out any issues at all and confirm motor is knackered, what we're going to do, we're going to check powers and grounds with a test light, incandescent test light. If there's enough power there to light the test light up, then we know we've got good wiring as well, to an extent, but don't need to worry about that. So if you come round here, I'm now connecting my test light to the positive terminal on the battery because we're about to test grounds now. Make sure that the negative side is there. I know the switches are working, I'm getting feedback off them, so I know that's not going to be an issue, but to show you guys, just in case, you have to roll it out. Here's my test light. Just to prove test light's working, you should always test a test light before you check them anyway. Make sure your test light's doing its job. So that's touching a negative now, which is part of the chassis. Because the other side is now connected to the battery positive. So this is what we're going to do now. We're checking for grounds now, making sure that the negative side is there for the switch. So when we connect this up to, right, we're going to put the ignition to on. We've got our switches plugged in still, because this is what we're doing. We're switching backwards and forwards. Now, let's just check we've got grounds. Yep, we've got a ground there, which should disappear when I switch. There we go. That's the up one. Yep, can you see that going on off? Now we're going to swap it over to the other side, and we're going to check it again. So we know the ground's there at the minute, but it should disappear when we go down. There we go. So we know our ground side is fine. So the motor's definitely getting a ground. So now what we do, we're checking the power side. Now we take our end of our test light, and like we did before in the other video, we're going to connect this side to chassis ground, so the negative side of the chassis, which would be chassis battery. There we go, back to where we had it originally. The ignition's still on. And then we're going to check for powers. So we've got our loom which plugs into the motor itself. Touch the test light on the end of the terminal. And we're going to operate the switch, and there we go. So we know we have a power to the up direction of the window. Then when we swap it over, we want to see a power to the down side. There we go. So what that's done now, guys, which I hope I've explained it good enough, but believe me, it's not easy. We know for a fact now, we don't have a blown fuse. The switch definitely works. There's power to the module, there's power there to operate the motor. All the way up to that motor we have power, we have ground, it's all there, it's all solid. But what we don't have is movement. So our problem is going to be in the motor itself. So I know now I can get on the phone, order a new motor for this car, replace the motor, and we'll be good to go. Hope that helps, guys. If you need any more info on it, if you want me to elaborate on something that you're not too sure about, give us a shout and I'll do a video again and explain whatever it is you think I'm not being clear about. Keep it simple, guys.